Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
Were we supposed to own XRP? This is a controversial topic that has been talked about in the XRP community for a very long time. I'm going to get into why this has been talked about, but it really has to do with a lot of different quotes from very powerful people alluding to the fact that XRP was never made for retail. Now, that does not mean we will not be able to own XRP, but I want to show you this clip and then kind of break down everything going on here, because I think this says a lot.
This has gotten into the public markets, and retail investors and mom and pops can buy XRP, and to us and to a lot of people we spoke to, that didn't make a lot of sense, because this is something that's meant to be used just in this internal system between banks around the world.
Yeah, and we have a chart here on the Bloomberg that shows how Ripple had done very well at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. Ripple is the line, the purple line at the top there, outperforming everyone else, including Bitcoin in white, Litecoin in...
So right here, we have someone on mainstream media, Bloomberg, obviously an intelligent investor, as this clip was from a while ago, so he understood Ripple and XRP in the early days, essentially saying his investment firm didn't quite understand how retail was able to acquire XRP. And let me tell you, there's two kind of things to hit on here. One, the reason retail investors were able to acquire XRP is because there needed to be a marketplace before institutions could get involved. One of the most important things about cryptocurrencies is being able to scale liquidity. And that is one of the reasons right now we don't see certain countries using Bitcoin to avoid sanctions. Essentially, there's not enough liquidity in the asset class yet to replace our full-fledged global financial system. But what is happening here is retail investors were allowed to acquire XRP, or were needed to really build the XRP system because they needed to scale the liquidity up. That's why retail investors were allowed into it. But to answer his question, no, XRP was not designed for us. XRP is designed for something so much bigger than just retail payments. It's designed to rewire the entire financial system. So the two important things to take away here is XRP is going to be more valuable than you and I could ever understand, and that's because its purpose wasn't for us. It's for whole-scale, country-to-country financial transactions. But we were allowed into the equation because they needed us to scale liquidity. If they didn't need to scale liquidity, we probably would have never been invited to the party. Overall, I think this clip is very important for helping you guys understand what you own. XRP is so much bigger than retail speculation. It's going to be fundamental in changing payments for the largest financial institutions in the entire world. And if you don't think that is going to do insane things for the price of XRP, I don't know what to tell you. Let's keep moving though, because we actually had some breaking news in the Ripple SEC case. Brad Garlinghouse was on Fox Business News, and Brad Garlinghouse might be the best CEO in the entire world. This guy is outstanding. He stated on Fox Business that in all his meetings with the SEC, he was never told once XRP was a security. This is absolutely exculpatory for this case. Brad Garlinghouse is saying from 2013 or 2015 when he joined Ripple, but his entire time communicating with the SEC, not once did anyone tell him XRP could be a security. Then out of nowhere in 2020, the SEC comes out and blindsides Ripple and says, oh, all this time you should have known that we were thinking privately without telling you that XRP is a security. It is nothing short of absurd. Sorry, I was going to swear, and it doesn't make any sense. And that's the reason Ripple chose to fight this and bring this thing to court. They knew the SEC had no basis for any of the claims they were making, and in my opinion, this goes into all the world's a stage file. Because why would the SEC file a lawsuit where they said Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen knowingly and purposely broke the law when they never told Brad Garlinghouse or Chris Larsen once that what they were doing was wrong. It is insane and shows what I think it shows that a lot of this was planned beforehand, and a lot of these issues were simply thrown onto this lawsuit, put on the table so that they could be hashed out by the courts and create precedent going forward. We have covered that a ton on this channel, but let's keep moving. And Dictator Know-It-All responded to me, and he said no. He was told XRP isn't a security and apologized to him for having him come visit the SEC. And what he's alluding to is Brad Garlinghouse actually asked for notes from the SEC in which Elad Roisman, a former commissioner, where not only was he never told XRP was a security, but Elad Roisman actually said, "We do not think XRP is a security, and we're sorry you even have to keep coming to this agency." So this is the complete opposite of what the SEC is accusing in their case, and shows that there is something more behind the scenes there here than the SEC legitimately thinking XRP is a security. I have said multiple times on this channel that one of the craziest things about this entire case is XRP just fundamentally does not meet the SEC's own definition of what a security is. And Brad Garlinghouse on Fox News went as far as to say, he's like, XRP is not a security, it's a currency. So is Ethereum. They're all currencies, and it's so obvious that the SEC knows this. They have already lost multiple cases via the Telegram case in which it was deemed in the courts that cryptocurrencies don't meet the definition of a security. They are going after Ripple because they want to create a precedent. They want to create a standards in the court that everyone can follow. They threw everything on the table so it could all be hashed out and something that other projects could look to. There was no way you could convince me that the SEC actually thought they would win this case. There are alleging things that are absurd given the fact that they never told Ripple once XRP was a security. Let's keep moving though. Good note out of John Deaton. He tweeted out today, "I'm going out on a limb and predicting Judge Knepper denies the SEC's motion for reconsideration, affirming her ruling for the 63 speech emails be produced. I'm also going to predict the Eastbrook notes regarding the meeting with Roisman also be turned over." So it seems like most lawyers are agreeing that the 63 emails will be turned over to Ripple. I don't think we'll ever see them. There's no way. But I know Jeremy and John Deaton were conflicted on whether Ripple gets the Roisman notes. We'll just have to see how this plays out. I personally am kind of under the impression that we won't have a ruling on this, and that's because I actually tweeted out to Jeremy Hogan and John Deaton today, and I said, how does communication actually work outside of the formal filings? Does the SEC and Ripple ever meet with the judges informally to encourage negotiations before a formal ruling? So say, for example, the judge says, "Hey, SEC, I'm going to rule this way in favor of XRP. If you want to settle, you better go figure that out because you're not going to like this next ruling." I don't really know how every legal process works, so I wanted to get some lawyers' opinions on this. Fred actually reached out to me. He's a lawyer who follows this case, and he says this can happen, but it's specific to each judge in certain chambers. Overall, he says Knepper and Torres could have chambers call attorneys and saying, "I'm about to rule this way, so you might want to consider settling prior." So it seems to me like this is something that definitely happens, and I have a feeling these two discovery rulings that are coming up are really going to dictate who wins this case. I think it's very probable that we will see a settlement before either of these decisions are made, and it's likely going to be because both parties will already have information from the judge on how they will be ruled on. We might see Judge Knepper rule a way that it goes against the SEC, and then we see it pushed out with a reconsideration. But then after that reconsideration, I don't think the SEC dares go any further, especially if Ripple wins on these two key issues. Let's keep moving though, and I wanted to show you this because I believe we're starting to see we're starting to see sediment from the SEC showing that this case might already be over. This is a recent interview with Gary Gensler on, I forget this guy's name, but he's pretty popular. I was kind of surprised that I hadn't heard about him before. I'm going to play you this clip. I'm sure you've seen it already, but it's just so funny watching Gary Gensler's face. I think it's worth a watch.
To litigate. This agency has to be willing to go into court and, take some losses from time to time. But go into court.
Right.
I think all of those things, but it's trying to use high-profile cases to bring folks back on the right side of the line
So how many high-profile cases can you think about going on at the SEC right now? And he says, in that same statement, we're going to lose some, essentially. I think Gary Gensler is already preparing for the fact that this case was set up to virtually be unwinnable. He kind of tells you exactly what I said earlier in this video. It was just to create a standard. The SEC couldn't win this case, and they literally filed it in a way where it was almost impossible for them to win certain issues. They never told Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson XRP was a security. How could they have knowingly been doing something wrong? It's nothing short of absurd, and Gary Gensler is literally telling you in this clip, look, we're not going to win all these cases, and specifically says directly after that, especially certain high profile ones. I am positive he was talking about the Ripple XRP case right here. I think the SEC is going to try to twist it in a settlement. Everyone's going to know they lost when XRP is deemed not a security, but what it's going to do is create standards for the industry. That's what Ripple's fighting for right now. We're going to have to see how that all turns out, but I thought this was super interesting because prior to this, he was only talking about the SEC's wins. This is the first time I really heard him alluding to possibly losing cases in the future. Let's keep moving though. I saw this. I don't know if there's any merit behind it, but it was interesting, so I thought I'd cover it. Digital asset investor put this out. He said, anyone else heard the rumor? Settled. All the staff on the SEC versus Ripple case has been resigned. A week until news goes public. SEC is now hiring new prosecuting lawyers for illegal securities. I don't know how much merit this has behind it. I've seen so much speculation out of settlement on Twitter recently, not only from retail investors, but from lawyers as well. I think it's only a matter of time. Wouldn't surprise me if this is true. Wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't true, but either way, I thought it would cover it. I personally think we're very close to a settlement. With expert discovery ending, I think delays are really out of the way for most part. We might see a couple of objections to ruling, but I think the cards have really been laid out. Both parties are likely going to know where the judge is leaning, and I think we're very close to a resolution for all of this. Last of all, if you guys don't know what you own, and I think we covered it earlier in the video, I wanted to wrap it up from this out of the Digital Pound Foundation, who is actually a partner of Ripple. You know, other countries actually like to work with game-changing companies and technologies rather than suing them. But anyway, they tweeted out, weaponizing the payment network is likely to be useful only once. As soon as it has been done, it will become a matter of urgent national security to develop means of trading without settling at the Fed or messaging via SWIFT. First of all, yeah, that is sounding a lot like XRP, especially this right here, without settling at the Fed. So they want to settle on a neutral ledger, and Bill points this out, and he says, other words, it may hasten the use of an open, decentralized, permissionless blockchain whose crypto is ideal for use as a bridge currency in payment transfers. He hits the nail on the head, and I think everything we're watching in the world right now has simply accelerated the timeline. This was all a plan. We are currently watching the last phases of clarity play out.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.